Hey everybody, welcome back to AWS On Air. If you're just tuning in, this is your opportunity to learn more about recent launches here at reInvent. Uh, we have an exciting service now to talk about. And before we jump in, I'm joined here by my co-host, Nathan. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself too?
Hi, I'm a senior developer advocate at AWS in the container space.
Awesome. So we have two guests here, and I'll let them talk about what we're going to discuss today. So welcome, Shubho and Bhavin. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, starting with Shubho?
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Shashank and Nathan. So, hi, everybody. I'm Shubho. I'm a senior product manager in AWS, and I work with AWS Backup product. And together
Awesome.
with me, there's Bhavin today.
Yeah, hey everyone, this is Bhavin Patel. I'm one of the product managers working on several AWS storage services. And we are here to tell you about our launch. Super excited to tell you about what we have been building for the last few months.
No,
We're excited. So let's kick this off then. Tell us, what did we launch today? And yeah, what did we launch today? What does it do? Let's start off with the name of the service.
sure. Yeah. And so AWS Backup is a fully managed, centrally managed, policy-driven offering, right? That helps you protect all your AWS resources from a centralized location. You can, create your backups from a central place. You can monitor your compliance from a central place. You can do your restores from a central place, right? So it's that one-stop place for all your data protection needs, right? And so today we actually added support for VMware workloads, right? A lot of our customers had hybrid VMware workloads, both on premises and on VMware Cloud on AWS, right? So today we actually, AWS Backup is announcing the support for VMware workloads across both, right? On premises and VMware Cloud, again, giving our customers this consistent, centralized solution feel that they're already used to, right? So just think of these as new resources that are coming into this umbrella, right? And what is really powerful about this, right? If you think about it in one sense, suppose you already have backup policies set up, right, for protecting all these other resources that you have done, right? Now you can add these resources into the same policy. So if you have a policy which say takes a backup every day, right, and has a retention for say 7 days, right, you just have these new resources that can now become part of the same backup policy. So this is very like this seamless experience is extremely powerful for our customers, right? And it also makes it really easy for demonstrating compliance, right? AWS Backup, with its integration with AWS Backup Audit Manager, can help you generate auditor ready reports for all these resources and services that AWS Backup will be monitoring, right? You can monitor your backups, your restores, your copy jobs, everything from one single centralized location.
Wow, so if I understand correctly, AWS Backup customers have already been using AWS Backup to back up their databases and compute and different things that are running inside the AWS cloud. But if they were running VMware workloads, or they had to find other solutions, either building it themselves or whatever, in order to back up their VMware, now they're able to use AWS Backup for both their on-premise as well as inside AWS resources.
Yeah, as a follow-up, that's interesting. So, uh, people love backup. There are a lot of customers who use it today. What were customers who had VMware workloads doing before this? How were they managing this before this new capability that you just launched became available?
Yeah, and I can take that on, Sashank. That's a great question, right? Like at AWS, we're also always building new services and capabilities to address customer needs and pain points. So in this particular case, what we heard from customers is, they run workloads both in the cloud and on premises, right? And they were actually using two different backup solutions. So they'll use one backup solution to protect their on-premises workloads, and then they use AWS Backup to protect the in-cloud services that they're using, such as Amazon EC2, Amazon RDS, and Amazon DynamoDB, and other services, right, that are supported by AWS Backup. So this actually created a problem for the customers in that they had to learn how to operate separate backup tools to manage the different backup environments. They also had to manage separate policies and do disparate reports to ensure and prove compliance of their organizational data protection practices to auditors. And with this launch now, what we are doing is we're enabling customers to centralize backups of both in-cloud workloads as well as the on-premises VMware, as well as VMware Cloud on AWS workloads from a single console. And as Shubho described, customers can now use a single backup policy to protect all their workloads. And this makes the aspects around reporting and compliance and backup management super easy for our customers.
That makes total sense. Like if I'm an auditor and I'm looking at a big list of resources, and then I see a list of resources just for the cloud, and I'm going to ask, well, what about the on-premise resources? And now I have to find a different report and compare the two reports, see if anything is missing. Just that ability to have a single report of here's all the resource types in cloud as well as on-premise, and they're all being backed up by one tool. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, and you're spot on, Nathan. That exactly is like one of the goals for us to simplify, make it easy for our customers to do this, right? In a more seamless manner as possible.
Right.
So, I guess the question I would have is looking at this. So, what are the key features you'd say? When you say make it easy, what are the key features that this product is providing that makes it really easy?
Yeah, that was a question I had too. How easy, how close it is to using backup that customers are already familiar with, because it's a whole new paradigm, right? With on-prem, when we say easy, like how close is the experience, the user experience, so that they can start adopting this from right from the get-go.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Again, so as we said, like for customers who are already used to the AWS backup experience, the experience of being able to create backup policies, assign resources to them, through tags and resource IDs, and then trigger their backups, right? Whether it's on demand or on a scheduled manner, all stored within AWS. Like this, all these experience would continue with this new offering, right? So that feature, you just have to think of VMware resources as a new resource type that's added. We have made it very easy for our customer to do a discovery right from AWS Backup of these VMware resources, wherever they might reside, whether VMware Cloud on AWS or on premises. It's all orchestrated through AWS Backup. They don't have to like switch between different offerings to do the discovery or of their on-premises VMware, for example, which don't reside on AWS, right? And so we have made it all seamless. So and simple for them to just do all this discovery from AWS Backup, and then the rest of it just flows through, right? Like then they can apply the backup policies the way they used to do it before with AWS Backup, and start creating their backups, right? Another great functionality we have provided is restore flexibility, right? So whether you back up from on-premises or from VMware Cloud, right, you can back up from either of these sources and restore to either of these sources. So you can totally do an on-premises backup and restore them on VMware Cloud or AWS, or vice versa, right? So because as it depends on the restore need for the customer might have, that's the flexibility we want them to have, right? Like at the time of restore, right, they would then be able to decide that, hey, I think I need to maybe at this point be in AWS. I just want to restore it back on VMware Cloud. So so that's the great flexibility in restore that we are providing to them. Another, of course, the thing that we touched upon before is we'll make it very easy for them to demonstrate their compliance for their VMware resources together with their other resources that they already protect, right? It's just think of it a very simple click controls that are available through AWS Backup Audit Manager, which is part of our AWS Backup ecosystem, which will just let you monitor, have I taken backups? And then, when was this, are my resources protected? Like all these kind of questions that commonly might need to be there can all be answered. And we have made it again simple by making all this experience within the AWS Backup console, irrespective of the resource type, right?
Nice. So Nathan, what do our listeners love more than new service launches?
Oh, I already know what they like. They like to see the demo.
Yeah,
We can talk about the
you're reading
product
the
all
mind,
day
man.
long, but what about that demo?
I know. I want to see the console. I want to see how this works. And yeah, let's jump right in. Shubho, Bhavin,
Okay.
show us the new service.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah,
We're
looks
seeing
good.
AWS Backup.
Yep,
This looks
yep,
like the
you're
AWS
on, Bhavin.
Backup
Yeah.
I'm used to.
Perfect. Yeah, so the first thing our customers will do is essentially come to the AWS console, right? And within that, go to the AWS backup section of the AWS management console. And when they come to the AWS backup page, that this is the page where they will land. And what you can see here is we have created this new section called external resources.
Mm,
And within that, we have three different elements or three different resources that are new, especially for VMware protection, gateways, hypervisors, and virtual machines. The first thing the customers will do if they want to get started protecting their VMware backups is they'll have to create a backup gateway. After they create the gateway, they'll connect their virtual machines through like the virtual machine hypervisor to the gateway and into the cloud. And then AWS Backup discovers all the virtual machines that are being managed by that particular hypervisor. And then once the virtual machines are in AWS Backup, customers can start to assign them to backup plan and start to protect those virtual machines. So the first thing I'll do is here create a gateway. Just show you the steps on how easy it is to create a gateway. Once you click on create a gateway, you will land into this page, and here you will download the OVF template. So this is the gateway software image, which you will install on your VMware infrastructure because the gateway runs as another virtual machine on your VMware infrastructure. And
so,
once you have,
Bhavin, for
yes,
someone who's not super familiar, uh, so this is a template. There's a tool running on your VMware infrastructure, right? And what is this? This template do?
correct. Yeah, that's a great question, Shashank, because what this template does, it provides you like a virtualization image that
Mm,
customers can deploy on their virtual machine infrastructure. And this is the gateway
okay,
software image, right? So this is the image that the customers will deploy. And the gateway basically helps connect their VMware infrastructure
got
to
it.
AWS Backup.
Okay.
This
So
is a
that's how your
connecting
service
piece.
would talk to the infrastructure that's on-prem.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
And I guess one of the questions that I think a lot of people are going to be curious about uh, is it okay for this to go over the public internet? Is there anything special I need to do in terms of networking between AWS Backup and my VM installation?
Yeah, there are certainly some requirements that we have published in our user guide uh, for, for the customer to be able to connect the gateway to the AWS backup service that's running in the cloud.
Mm.
The communication between the gateway and the AWS backup service is always encrypted, and you can either go over the VPN or direct connect. And at launch, we are supporting public endpoint for the service.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So once, as I was mentioning, Shashank, to you, right, once the customers actually deploy this gateway image in their environment, they'll basically give that gateway virtual machine an IP address, right? And then they'll hop back into this console from their VMware environment. And then they'll give the gateway a name. So in this case, I'll just use the gateway name as AWS On Air demo, and they'll plug in the IP address of the gateway, right? So this is the IP address that they had assigned to the gateway virtual machine when they deployed the gateway. on their virtual machine infrastructure. And then we can optionally add tags to the gateways to help them organize the gateways. And in this case, I wouldn't actually create the gateway. So I'll just cancel out, and I'll actually show you the gateway that I had created before. So if I had clicked on the create gateway, there would be a new gateway that would have shown up here. But for this demo, I'll just show you this. This is the gateway that I had created earlier today morning. So if I clicked on that gateway, it will go into this view where you can see the gateway details of the gateway name, gateway ID, and the Amazon resource name of the gateway. Right. So now the gateway is deployed, and the next thing customers will have to do is connect their hypervisor, which in this case is the VMware vCenter, to this gateway, so that the gateway can then connect to that hypervisor and discover the virtual machines underneath that hypervisor.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just show you like how you can connect to the hypervisor. Now in this case, I'll come back to this because I have already a hypervisor that I'll show, but let me show you. If you hadn't added a hypervisor, right, you can click on this add button. Because let's say you're doing this for the very first time, then you will come here and add the hypervisor. So this is the name of the hypervisor or the vCenter host that you can enter here.
Yeah, I like how easy everything is driven through the console, right? You don't have to jump through a lot of hoops. It's all right here. And I have to admit, I am not your target customer in the sense I don't work with VMware infrastructure, but this doesn't intimidate me as much as someone who's like new to this. All right, so we have a few more minutes. So tell us more about, let's say this, you have this hypervisor settings. Are there any next steps that you want to show us after this?
Yeah, sure. So what I'll do is I'll just connect the hypervisor to this gateway, right, that I was just showing you earlier. So I'll pre-select this hypervisor and connect. And now you can see that the hypervisor is connected to the gateway. The connection status is online, which means both the gateway and the hypervisor can communicate with each other.
Yeah. Always nice to see a green checkbox.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I know it's working.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, we have actually built in some informational tips for the users so that they can know that the hypervisor was connected successfully, or if you're adding the hypervisor, it would give you the right informational message there.
So now it's connected, I can start capturing backups.
Correct. Yeah, I think there's one more step. So basically, like once we have added the hypervisor, there are virtual machines that will be discovered in AWS Backup, right? These are the virtual machines that are being managed by that hypervisor.
The ones you're showing here. So these are already discovered.
Correct.
Nice.
So the next thing that will happen is you can assign these virtual machines to a backup plan, right? And there are multiple ways you can do that. So I'll just show you here. You can either select this virtual machines and assign them to a backup plan. So here you will create like a resource name. Let's say the resource name is
awesome.
And select the virtual machine and pick the backup plan and assign resources. And it's as simple as that, right? So now basically your virtual machines will be backed up according to the policy that you're defined in that backup plan.
That's thanks for the demo. So Bhavin, Shubho, thanks for giving an overview of the service and the demo, which even I could understand for someone who's not who doesn't work with this on a day-to-day basis. So are there a couple of links and resources available? We'll just share them with our listeners here. So do you have a blog post or content coming out, documentation and all that is available, right? So we'll share those. Any last summary that you want to share before we wrap up here in a couple of seconds?
I know we just want to thank the audience for their time, and I hope you like this new addition to the AWS Backup ecosystem.
Yeah,
Awesome.
same here from my side as well. We hope you like what we have built, and as always, we'll continue to add more feature and functionality to this product based on your feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Shubho, Bhavin. So yeah, thanks. So there you have it, folks. Stay tuned for more product discussions and interviews. So see you.